Hello, hello, fellow Earth signs. This is Brandy from Taurean.com. I've also added a 15-minute audio recorded option on the site. There was 5 and 10, now there is 15 for people who like to keep the recording and just let me go on meditating with your 4 questions. So, overall energy for Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo for remainder of the month of September is feeling disconnected, like you don't fit in. That's okay, friend. It's almost like you are seeing everything out of your peripheral and not a full-on vision. You're trying to observe that, and you really don't want to participate. But therefore, it's kind of experiencing like an alienation because you may think, about existence far more than other people. It represents simply not just being present, but experiencing it. And it's like you don't just live for the weekend like some people. And that existence without resistance is about acceptance and living in the moment. But you have guilt about this. You have guilt and regret about some choices that carried some emotional weight that is actually keeping you from experiencing. So there's a little resistance here, the guilt, the outsider, what can you do to fix this, disconnected, where do I belong? Like I'm trying to get there, but again, resisting, which is amplified, like you can't really do anything. And I heard something today. I did listen for the sign of Taurus. It's a person I get drawn to. That just letting it all fall. People are so used to you just stepping in and putting everything of your own to the side and doing it. And I think it has to be amplified, and you may be feeling guilty about that right now. Okay, but in order for you to actually embrace your life, you have to be present. You can't let the guilt get to you, the key insight, you know what I'm saying? So, you can't engage. And I think on a collective, kind of lost. But it's more about the experience without judgment, to recognize it's kind of being an outsider is kind of part of the current experience right now. It's not your entire being. It just... Stop being resistant. It is what it is. Allow yourself to simply be. Especially if you're feeling guilty. Let them clean it up for once. Earth signs. Holding on to that guilt from past actions, you can't feel connected, which is what you got to deal with for yourself. Acceptance. Acknowledging your feelings without judging yourself off what maybe you think they would say. Or what they have said. Right? So, no judgment, no self-judgment. Accept the feelings. Reconnect with life. Be present. No need to fit in, friend. Nothing to fix immediately. I think that's the first steps towards your own healing and your own reconnection. You know what I'm saying? I got a new mic. I'm tired of the other noise canceling one, even though this one is too. But whatever. But I can't have the cam and this plugged in at the same time, so you guys get audio or whatever. So, I did get 3 tarot cards. I did pull 3 tarot cards to, I guess, clarify what I picked up for Earth signs. Enjoy my mid-afternoon coffee with me. So, 3 of Wands would be foresight, looking ahead. But you're waiting for results. And it's more about trusting the process. Okay, something good is coming. The 2 of Pentacles. You've been juggling everyone else's priorities. And you got too many priorities. Multiple priorities that actually don't really belong to you. Okay, and you got to manage to change that. And, of course, you feel stretched. And you're trying to find your own stability amongst all these fluctuations everyone else is guilt-tripping you to handle. Okay, and then the Emperor. I pulled 3 cards, by the way, because we have 3 signs. The Emperor. You know, stability, structure. You took control, or you're going to take control. Discipline, to create order out of the chaos. It's chaos, trust me. Chaos. But that's your feelings of being an outsider or guilty are part of this phase where you balance multiple aspects of your life. Okay? Looking ahead, trying to find a stable footing. What direction do I go? What the hell do I do? And that's where you take control. Again, you be present in your life. You establish a structure, because we are structure-based creatures. You take it over your situation. You let them learn how to take it over their situation. Now, some things can't be just put to the side. I understand that. But it's essential foresight for yourself to navigate your feelings of disconnection and guilt. You know, the Emperor comes in to gain that confidence back, so you can create a plan that supports your well-being, to manage your priorities, where you don't overextend yourself. And I'm you know, kettle to the pot, my friend. So you can take charge of your emotional and practical life and recognize the power to shape your experience. So the current feelings of being an outsider and guilt are just part of this transitional phase where you can balance and take control to reconnect with you and your purpose, and just trust in that process, that you can't be the one to step in and clean up their mess when your life is chaos right now from everyone doing that to you. And you feel guilty because maybe you have to say no, and you're not used to that because you fix everything. But not for the rest of the month of September, my friends, okay? Can't do that. So if you came for a shadow worker and you came for some truth, hit that like button. Again, you can find all my details down in the description. And I bid you farewell.